everybody, my name is Jocelyn, or Teacher Jocelyn as we would refer to it in VIPKids. And this is Scarlett, my dog. She's trying to steal her ball away from me. But it is now my ball. It became my prop for my mock class that I taught last night. Just to clarify, I am not officially a VIPKid teacher yet. I've not been hired on. I haven't signed a contract or anything. But I did pass my mock interview last night, and I do have intentions of signing a contract and kind of seeing where this might lead me or where I could go with this. I decided to make a video to document my journey so far with VIPKids and the hiring process and the research that I put in behind it. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and the three people that I watched the most were VIPKid teacher Erin, Jessica Niles, and Melody Alisa, if I'm saying that correctly. All three of these girls had really good information to offer, and I took tips and tricks from each one. But what I've noticed on YouTube is that a lot of the teachers on there have been teaching since 2016 and 2017, and they're kind of veterans at it. And there's not a lot of newbies talking about what is the hiring process like for VIPKids now. And I kind of felt like maybe it would be beneficial if I shared my perspective and my journey. So I just want to go over some of the things that I found to be helpful. So one of the first tips that I learned was to utilize whatever you have lying around the house. And I found that I have this lying around the house because my husband and I did a Dollar Tree date one time. So he bought me this. I have a dog, so I have a ball. I used a dog toy, honestly, like a little squid, because the reward system for the mock class are toys. So I used this initially to introduce toys, and I used my clapper every time they did a good job, just to kind of add a little bit more pizzazz to it. I also, since I don't have a hand puppet, I also used a head of a toy that my dog chewed off, and for some reason, many months ago, long before I learned about VIPKids, I decided to save it, and I'm really glad I did now because it's my puppet. So yeah, that's my puppet. We call him Allie the alligator. I honestly don't know if he or she, I don't know if it's too scary, but it's the closest thing I have right now to a puppet to, conduct conversation. Allie, what do you do with a ball? I throw a ball. I might cut that up. Some of the other things, I did decide to buy one thing so far because I didn't want to invest too much money into something that I didn't know if this was the path that I was going to take. And I decided to buy this little whiteboard, if that's what you can call it, a whiteboard. This was a really good deal. It was $25, and it has all these magnetic letters, and each little area is labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z, and it has big letters, little letters, so like if I can grab like an A, I think I've showed you that backwards, uppercase A, maybe you can see it better on my white background, and what's cool about it, it did come with 4 little markers and an eraser, but honestly, I don't think that I'm going to use the markers on it, but you can. It's magnetic, and it's double-sided. So when I was doing my mock interview, I had this part up initially, sitting on my elephant, and in the video you could see my elephant a little bit better. This is just an ottoman that I had lying around, and I was like, hey, why not? It might make a good background item, and it held up my board, which I really needed something to hold up my board. So initially, I started out with nothing on here but my name. So, Teacher Jocelyn. Also, this board stands. I thought that was pretty cool. A little standing board, but it's kind of awkward on it because of the angle of my elephant. But this is what I had so far. And part of this $25 package, where it's a pack of just a whole bunch of magnets, and they're not even skimpy magnets. They're full. They have the magnets on the full part of the why can't I talk? The full part of the image, and it has the word zebra, and I figured maybe these would come in handy at a certain point in time. And actually, I used them for my reward system. Instead of having to go back to the first slide when they earned a reward, when they earned a toy, I would say, you know, I would use my little clapper and I'd go, you earned a toy, you did a good job. And I would have it in front of the screen and go, or the helicopter to it, I don't know, whatever noise I made. And I would put it on the board. Same thing, so like a lion. I know a lion's not supposed to be a toy, but honestly, it kind of looks like a stuffed animal lion. So I'd be like, rah, 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 and just make a big deal about it. You earned a toy dinosaur! And so each time they had it on there, I put it up there. Yeah, each time they earned a reward, I would put it up there on the board. I used a bus. I'd be like, so I would go vroom, 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 vroom. And then a xylophone, which I didn't even try to say the word xylophone for them. But it's a musical, and this is actually the only toy that was in the pack. So I put these up there, and then at the end of the session, when you're saying goodbye, first I would take it, and then we counted how many toys did they earn. So that's how good of a job they did. And why I like that it is double-sided is because originally, I only had one letter on at a time. But originally, I already had my IP up there. And so I could say IP, which with your interview, with your mock interview, they really are concerned with your phonics. So it's not huh. So yeah, I don't know if you want to brush up on your phonics or whatnot, but they are really concerned with how you pronounce the letters, and so p, not p. And so I was just able to easily be like hip and ip. Ironically enough, hey, we spelled ship. But yes, I think that this was the best purchase that I could have made for this venture, and I'm really glad I did, because I didn't have to worry about getting my own letters and cutting them out and putting and doing tape and stuff, which I did do for some other rewards. Let me put these down somewhere. I know that in the demo class they had soccer ball, so I created, well, I didn't create it, I copied a goalpost, and I used it's a website called Pixabay, and they give you like free images. You don't have to worry about copyright and stuff. And so this originally was a boy, and I went on to paint, and I added the hair and a bow to make it a girl. So I have a boy version and a girl version, but I have not printed out the boy version just yet. I only wanted to print one out because I didn't know if I was going to do this, and I didn't really want to waste my ink, honestly. But I have a laminator at home, so I laminated it. And then I cut out soccer balls, and I used Gorilla Tape, and I put tape on both sides, and then I cut around the edge of the tape, so that way my soccer balls don't get ruined. And I have 3 other soccer balls that I haven't laminated or put tape on yet, But this was really helpful for my demo. And so I didn't have them all on here when I did it. And I was able to emphasize, let me make sure I'm in my camera here, I was able to emphasize how they kick the ball into the goal, and it sticks, because you can use, I use double-sided tape, which I've learned that double-sided tape kind of doesn't last very long, so sometimes they like to fall off. You gotta be careful. The only other reward system that I had prepared, and I haven't used it yet, actually, there is one teacher on YouTube, teacher Capri. I hope I'm saying that correctly. She offers freebies for a whole bunch of rewards. When you watch her YouTube video, and she tells you to email her. You send her an email, and I sent her an email, and she sent me a PDF file of a whole bunch of rewards, her reward system. And I know everybody knows the soccer ball one, but this one I actually haven't seen anybody do yet. And so I wanted to share it as well. And maybe this could be my freebie or my contribution to the VIPKid world as of right now. Because, like I said, I'm not officially under contract yet. But I found this image on Pixabay. You don't have to worry about copyrights or anything. I just added the word reward to it. I blew it up. I actually cropped it a little bit. Edited it a little bit because it was a teeny bit different. But I had a purpose I wanted to serve, and I haven't laminated this yet or put tape on my flowers. But the original picture actually did have flowers on it. I took them all out, and I dropped that one. I printed and cut flowers out. So this could potentially be an award system where I made sure the flowers still had white, or not white, green in the background, so it kind of blends, you can see, against the picture. And then eventually, you know, I'll have tape, they'll be able to stick. This is a bigger flower, and I have a smaller flower as well, just kind of depending on the lesson or what I need. And then at the end of the lesson, I figured you could count the flowers, if that would work. It's an idea. Girls would probably like that one a little bit more. And the first 6 months of the program, the kids will learn, I believe the first 6 months of the program, I could be wrong, but I believe they learn emotions. So I printed up the basic emotions of emojis that I could find, and I cut them out. I didn't actually use any of these for the demo or the mock interview, but I have a feeling I will use them in the future. What else? So how it all kind of worked was so let's start with the demo. I filled out my information, and they said, okay, send in a demo. And it was really confusing at first. I entered, because they tell you that you can record it however many times you need to within a 2-hour time span, and your demo is only 5 minutes long. So I guess, you know, that gives you quite a bit of, well, in an hour, you can do it 12 times, so 12 times 2 is 24. So that gives you 24 chances, quite honestly, in that hour. But I didn't know this. The second you click enter the classroom, it starts the timer. And I have major stage fright, so I kind of freaked out a little bit. And I turned my camera off, and I just exited the classroom. I was like, all right, let me just take a second and breathe. And I went back in the classroom, and the timer was still going. So initially it starts off with positive 5 minutes, and it's a countdown to 0. And then once you hit that 0 mark, it goes into like a negative number, and it keeps going for, I'm assuming, the 2-hour mark. I think my recording ended up being like 13 minutes total, because once I went back into it, I realized, oh, okay, so they're still counting down the 5 minutes. And I got even more nervous when I went back into it, and I saw that it was still counting down, and you cannot restart it. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so I kind of just was like, well, I guess I'm gonna do it. And so I tried it. I was like, hi. And you're having to imagine this, I don't know, you're having to imagine this 5-year-old child from China, and again, my stage fright kicked in, so I was like, but the third time's a charm, I was just like, just suck it up and do it. This is not hard. And I did it, I went through it, and there was no, like, confirmation, really, of if I was even being recorded. It was kind of confusing in that sense, but as long as that timer was counting down, even though it was in the negative, I don't think it really mattered, and because it says that your demo will automatically be submitted once that 2-hour time period is up. So I kind of just recorded it, or the third time I went through it, and I was like, all right, and it's still, when I was done, it still showed me like I could enter the classroom if I wanted to, but I didn't. I just kind of stayed out of it, and the next day I saw that it said, oh, your submission, like, submission pending, and then I got an email very shortly after saying that I passed, which I was like, okay, because the beginning of it I kind of freaked out. I was like, oh no. And so then they wanted you to book a mock class or a mock interview. And the mock interview, honestly, it sounds so intimidating, but I feel like the mock interview was so much easier than the demo. Even though you're teaching for a longer period of time and you're teaching to somebody who is actually judging you, my lady, she was very nice. Her name was Donna, and we had a little bit of small talk in the beginning, and then she told me I have 10 minutes, and I was going to teach for 10 minutes straight, and thankfully I taught on time for each slide, and then afterwards, so we did lesson A, which I had a feeling that they tell you be ready for A or B, but I really made sure I knew A, because I had a feeling that they would tell me to teach A, because one of the things that they say is that most teachers require 2 mock interviews to pass. And so I assumed if somebody needs to come back, then they would do lesson B. And that one of the first questions she did ask me, she said, is this your first mock interview? And I said, yes. So she said, okay, we're going to do lesson A. I said, I had a feeling. And once I was done teaching, she asked me what I thought was good and what I thought was not good, and I answered her questions, and she was able to provide me with additional tips that maybe I didn't include as much. Like, for example, if I can help somebody out, I had a ball. Where is this ball? Oh, here it is. I had this ball, and in lesson A, it's all about ball and throw. And so, ball! And she told me that the prop is good, but they still want more TPR, so ball! And so I don't know if that's like a helpful tip for anybody who is thinking about doing this and getting ready for their mock interview. What they want is ball! Ball! And then ball! So they want more of that TPR. Which I knew going into it. I watched videos and I knew all about TPR, but I thought, since I had a prop, maybe it was a little bit better. But they want the throw and throw. Ugh, if I can catch my ball. She acknowledged my background. I guess shadows are really important, or not having shadows is really important, and I didn't have any shadows at the time. Actually, this is my little space that I did it. When I did my demo, I actually did it in front of a green screen, and so it looks a little bit different. And then this time I chose to use a white background because my husband put our green screen away. And I know it's not like luxurious or anything, and maybe in this video you can see the ends where the I don't know what to call this because it's not a green screen. Is it a white screen? Where it ends. But when you're in the VIPKid classroom, they couldn't see these edges at all, so I didn't even worry about it. Really, and I kind of sat a little bit lower, and I had my elephant more in view because this was the only like really cool thing I feel like I had in my house that could go along with my background, with what I needed. She did tell me, so for example, like right now my head is kind of cut off, and that was something she said I needed to make sure I sit a little bit further back, which this is not going to be my normal teaching area by any means. This is just an area that I was like, okay, let me do my interview. But they don't want your head chopped off. Just, you know, be in the camera, be as center as you can. She really enjoyed my elephant, and she enjoyed my toy demonstration. She complimented me on that, and my little clapper, my knick-knack clapper, wherever it is. What else can I tell you? I'm trying to think. The areas that I messed up on. I don't know if all. See, let me get the top of my head in here. Maybe I just need to sit back more. The areas that I did not do according to VIPKid standards, she went back, she made me aware, she told me exactly what would be expected of this slide. So she went through all the letters, the I, P, A, E, and I don't believe there's a D on the mocks. She went through each one, and then I practiced again with her. You know, she would tell me, okay, so do it. So I would do that slide, and then I guess there's two sets of I, P, A, and E in the mock interview. And so the first set, if I can talk, the first set she instructed me a little bit more, and then she had me teach the second set again according to the letters and remember the objectives. And like I said earlier, I have major stage fright, and I have such a fear of people watching me and judging me. And there was actually one slide that it was a drag and drop slide that she was not understanding. And I know that you're always supposed to just remain positive. So I remained positive, and we kind of just like moved on. And she was like, did you even notice I didn't speak at all during that slide? And I was like, yeah, I had a feeling I went too quickly. I was just like really nervous and panicked. And she was so sweet about it though, honestly. And so we practiced it again, and it was A plus effort. And I mean, pretty much that was it. And she told me that the people at headquarters, they would watch the recording of the mock interview, and then they would read her feedback, which I got an email today which had her feedback, the good and the bad, and so I can try and make that available as well. I don't know if that helps anybody, so you can see exactly what they're looking for. I'm losing my train of thought now. But pretty much, that was it. And I got my confirmation email this morning, and it said, it was like, oh, congratulations, you passed. I was like, oh my gosh, really? Because of where I messed up, I didn't think I did a bad job at all. I feel like I was very happy, animated, positive. I corrected when the student is supposed to say throws, she goes, throw. And so I corrected that very well, throws. And I even spelled it out on the screen, underlined the S, and she really liked that. So despite the areas where I messed up, I feel like I did good enough of a job that they put me through, so I don't have to do it again. And so far, it's been a pleasant experience. So the next part in my VIPKid journey is going through the contract, signing it, and the teacher certification. I am not familiar with certifications for English teaching and online English teachers, and so I need to do some research to to figure out what do I want to do. A VIPKid, it looks like they have partnered with an organization that accredits teacher certifications, and VIPKid gives you a course that you can do for free. And so I think, honestly, I might go that route, but the overachiever in me, if I enjoy this, might later on pursue a certification through one of the accrediting organizations directly. But yeah, just right now at this point, I kind of want to put my perspective out there for anybody, for any newbies that are coming in, passing along some ideas, what did work, what didn't work. Actually, I don't really know what didn't work so much. Honestly, this background doesn't work for me at all. I cannot wait to have a setup. I don't know what I'm going to do or where I'm going to do it. A lot of the YouTube videos that I've been watching, they've been talking about VIPKid's new pay system or incentive system. I guess there were milestones and teachers had opportunities to make big bucks all around, and new teachers who are joining after December of 2019 are automatically being put on this new pay system, but a lot of the veterans are kind of upset by it because they are going to get a pay cut. I don't really know too much about how awesome it was, and maybe that's a blessing in disguise. I don't know, because this is just a new opportunity that I personally I'm just going to try to enjoy, make a little bit extra money. Right now I'm a graduate student for clinical mental health counseling, but because of all the backlash that VIPKid is kind of getting from some of their veteran teachers, I really just wanted to put out my perspective. July 2020, this is what's going on. This is the hiring process. My pay, I think that they said they were going to start the pay at, you get paid $7.50 per class. I don't know if that's high or low compared to what other teachers started with, but I do know that if you teach 2 classes an hour, that's $15. It's not awful, especially for somebody who doesn't really have experience in teaching English. But I know a lot of teachers are looking for other ways to make money now because of the new pay system. I guess it's a tier system. A lot of teachers are trying to come up with new ways that they can make their money, so they can keep working the same and make the same or more, but not having to work more to make the same that they were already making. And speaking of money, there are a lot of veteran teachers on YouTube that have offer a lot of good information, a lot of tips, tricks, freebies, showing you what they did and what they do, and they provide really good ideas for people like me who are kind of prospecting, like, is this something that I do want to do? Right now, I haven't told anybody about this yet. I've only told my husband, because I really didn't know if this is something that I wanted to do, but as I'm moving through the process, I do think it would be a good fit, and I feel like it's something that I would enjoy doing. So yeah, so the point I was trying to make is that those veteran teachers that are out there and giving you all these ideas and trying to help you, they all have their referral codes in their descriptions. And honestly, Jessica Niles was the very first YouTube channel that I came across. I watched her videos. I got some perspective from her. I got just ideas, what to expect, and because of that, and because I wanted to create an account right away, I used her referral code. Not having any ties to her, I don't know who she is. I just figured, hey, if I can help you make I think it's $100. If I can help you make $100, why not? Because they do put that content out there, and I feel like it's a way to say thank you. So I didn't find VIPKid teacher Erin or Melody Alisa. I didn't find them until after the fact, after I already made my account, but they also have their referral code out there. I think that Jessica Niles offers to help you with your VIPKid intro video, and I'm not sure. I want to say that Erin may offer. but I don't really know if she offers an incentive for using her referral system or her referral code, and I didn't really see a incentive with Melody. I think she just put it in there and she goes, hey, if you want to use it, you can use it. But I might be wrong. I don't know. But all three of them were very enjoyable to watch. So I can link their channels in my description as well, just if anybody wants a little bit of idea on who was helpful and who was not. And me myself, I plan on continuing to document like what's been going on, what's the process like, how hopefully all this will change and it'll be a little bit better. Right now I only have one orange shirt, so I feel like I need to go buy an orange shirt, but I don't think you have to wear orange. I think it's just like, oh hey, these are our colors, so put some orange on it. Actually, before I recorded this video, I just didn't want all my skin hanging out, and I grabbed a jacket, and I didn't even realize it was orange. And so it's kind of perfect. So I'm like, hey, maybe I can wear this in some of my videos too. I'm trying to think. So I think that is it for now. I will keep you guys updated on what the certification process is like for getting a TSL. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly, honestly. But getting the certification for teaching, for VIPKid, and what the contract entails. Maybe I can try and give a little bit of information on that. What the new 2020, brand new teachers coming in, what can you expect? If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Bye! And pause.